Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yesterday morning, I was supposed to stream, and then I found out that the Super Bowl starts at like 3:30, which is kind of early, man. Chill out. You know what I mean? I was hanging out. I was hanging out with Ludwig, Cutie, all my friends, drank 2 shots of alcoholic beverages, and I had 3 sips. I had 3 sips of Michelob Ultra during like a rage cage thing that we did. Damn, bro, you got wasted? No, of course I did not get wasted. I'm still a big boy, but I played basketball in the morning. There was a dude that was training with his coach. Okay, he had his like own personal coach. And like he looked young, and I was like, how old are you? This motherfucker was 14, dog. And this dude was trying to body me. Like, he was trying to fucking post up on me. It's like, bro, you're 14. You need to eat way more Cheerios, okay? Get that shit out of here. I kept swatting it. Bro, debate the 14-year-old in Marketplace of Ideas? No, man. It was dope. It was sick. Other than that, but your appearance in Cutie stream yesterday, yeah, dude, I was starving. I had the fit, though. Look at this. Look at this freaking fit, dude. I came in correct with the Super Bowl fit, okay? Classic, like, oh yeah, I got the rugby shirt on. Teddy Fresh says soccer mom in the front.
No, soon.
There's like nothing to eat in the house.
Bro, give me. There's banana.
No, I don't want a banana. Ew, that's like healthy. Wait, what's that? Is that the?
That's a 7-layer dip, otherwise known as 7, because her song 7.
It was so good. She fucking. I ate like 4 of these, dude. I was drooling. Like Kaya drools. Cutie, despite being like a Midwestern Mormon housewife archetype, she did not watch a single moment of the Super Bowl. She did not watch a single second of Taylor Swift. She literally worked the entire time. I was like, Cutie, what the fuck are you doing? Get in here. And she's like, no, I'm Mormon. This is my coding. Anyway, she whipped this shit up. This was like elevated. Okay. There was no, like, she had a 7-layer dip, which was like kind of normal in comparison to the 7-layer dip that you expect. But honestly, everything else was like elevated. It was like gourmet, which I think I personally nailed. And you can kind of tell from the spread here, there's a lot more. Obviously, there was a lot more, but this was just like what was laid out originally. But as you can see from the spread, it's like very gourmet. Like this was like a spinach artichoke dip. Extra that, bro. That's few hundo and cheese and means alone. Listen, motherfuckers, it was not my party. Okay, you can't be talking about how rich I am. Like when it's not even my party. Anyway, but yeah, I went in with the Lori Lightfoot fit, and I think like fit goes so goddamn hard. I have a sidekick, and we're investigating crimes. Do you understand me? Austin saying you pause more than the Super Bowl is the realest thing that's ever been said on the podcast. Fucking true. Wait, let's see what is real time. I don't care if anybody
agrees with me, bro. As a man who is a citizen of the United States of America, I don't want the president tweeting out memes where he has these red lasers in his eyes. Meanwhile, we got things just happening all over the world. I want a strong leader who's not fucking farming impressions.
No, I love this. He's like, I think a lot of people on Twitter will get mad at this, but this is so surprisingly normal of a take. Silly to get mad at this when there's like a million things to get mad at Biden over. Normal dude who browses Twitter, doesn't give a shit about politics. This is the same exact opinion that like so many apolitical people had about Trump. Not everyone gives a shit about politics in the same way that we do. America is a liberal country. I mean liberal in the political theory, okay? Not liberalism in the way that it's been bastardized by like American culture or whatever. I'm talking like everything that we do, we add on to like additional aesthetics to make it seem like we have differences in opinion or whatever. But ultimately, everyone is basically a liberal at the end of the day. So liberalism is, for those of you who don't know, liberalism obviously centers around protecting private ownership of property, private property rights, that sort of thing. It is relatively progressive. If the prior formation is feudalism, right? it's progressive for, you know, the 18th, 19th century was very progressive, very good, good step in the right direction. Definitely kind of outdated for now, for our time, our day and age. This is the most like apolitical center-left approach to politics from afar. And the most apolitical center-right approach was literally saying the same thing about Donald Trump. Ultimately, though, who gives a fuck?
I want to know this motherfucker's behind closed doors working his ass off to make the country better, not farm.
Again, see? That's what I mean. He thinks like Joe Biden is the one who's fucking tweeting. Or even Joe Biden is the person who's like single-handedly, oh! Obama! She almost killed Obama. Yeah, the idea that like Joe Biden is like doing anything at all is pretty funny. The idea that Joe Biden, even if he wasn't tweeting, is like technically secretly running the country, also funny, not so secretly. Biden's the leader of the free world, memeing about the Super Bowl while the U.S. is falling apart. When you start paying taxes and see this guy is the guy running our country, it drives me nuts. I don't care if it's a social media manager. I don't want the account, him or anyone representing his office farming impressions, making light of the incredible amount of work to be done to fix all the issues of the country is beyond frustrating, and I don't care if you agree or anyone else for that matter. The irony, of course, is that there are correct reasons to be like Biden is like senile, like the Democrats are doing a horrible job overall. There are so many real things to get mad at, but it's always funny when like I see someone who is relatively apolitical, but like obviously has class interest and is like a rich person, get mad at a thing like this. You know what I mean? But from the completely irrelevant framework of like, well, I don't like the aesthetics of this. It's the same principle behind people getting mad at Trump tweeting, right? When you are rich, there aren't more pressing issues to interrogate than what's being tweeted. Yes. Can you explain what the picture is supposed to be and do? I'm so confused. Oh shit, I forgot. God damn it. Sorry guys. I forgot that there's a lot of normies here. There was a meme called Dark Brandon. Okay, friend of the show, Edinger Mentum, claims he invented it, but actually there's a darker past for Dark Brandon. It actually came out of China. The American president as this scary figurehead that actually is doing a tremendous amount of work that is like, it was basically making fun of Joe Biden and making fun of the right-wingers who think he's this like terrifying figure. They call him Brandon, which by the way, the image description literally says Dark Brandon, which means that the intern straight up called Joe Biden Brandon. It started off with a NASCAR race. Okay, here it is.
Thank you to all of our partners. Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just...
Like, they're very clearly screaming, fuck Joe Biden, and then the reporter says like, oh, let's go. They're saying, let's go, Brandon. So there's two different memes merging here. Okay. So the Dark Brandon meme basically came from that. So basically when you hear someone say like, let's go, Brandon, still to this day, they're just trying to say fuck Joe Biden, but in a, I guess, polite way, which is stupid. That's where that meme comes from. And then they basically leaned into this. Like, the older Biden has become in the eyes of the public, and the older Biden has become physically, right? The more they've like leaned into this meme of like Dark Brandon. Now, it doesn't make sense though when you're the one doing the meme, because the origination of the meme itself was to make fun of Joe Biden and also to make fun of those who think Joe Biden is this like terrifying figurehead who is like a communist, right? People were claiming, the right wing was claiming that Travis Kelce is sponsored by Pfizer. And, Taylor Swift, who had previously endorsed Joe Biden against Donald Trump in the past election cycle, is a 34-year-old liberal woman for understandable reasons. And so the conservatives were trying to basically turn this into like a culture war issue, right? Everyone was saying like Joe Biden is going to rig the Super Bowl. Joe Biden is going to rig the Super Bowl. I myself obviously leaned into it as well because it's really funny to think that like the Joe Biden would rig the Super Bowl or that the Super Bowl was rigged. But as the right wing leading up to the Super Bowl was claiming that the Super Bowl was going to be rigged and that like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were going to come out after Travis Kelce wins the Super Bowl with a touchdown himself, even though that didn't happen. The last touchdown or whatever, he was going to, Taylor Swift was going to say, vote Joe Biden, which is a pure, fantastical, very silly idea that could only be cooked up by the most schizophrenic conservatives. But now that's just mainstream politics, okay? But Joe Brandon came out as soon as the fucking the Kansas City Chiefs won, said, just like we drew it up. This, in my opinion, is going to probably cause a bunch more people to genuinely lose their minds It is obviously just a joke. Yes, of course is a joke. Obviously is a joke. What do you mean? No, I don't really think Joe Brandon cooked up the fucking Super Bowl. Shut the fuck up, liberal chatters. Jesus Christ. But my favorite part of this is that I think personally, right-wing reactionaries who are already at the precipice of snapping, this is their 13th reason why. I'll bring out Marc Lamont Hill now, and we'll talk about the Israeli ad and many other things.
Hey.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's crispy as hell. I'm very excited to have you on. Look, Mark, I've been a massive fan of yours for a very long time. I remember you getting booted from CNN for saying from the river to the sea, Palestine would be free at the UN. Would you mind, giving us a little bit about your background?
I am a lifelong student activist. For the last 20 years, I've been a professor, scholar. I am a journalist as well. I think my day job, I'm a professor at CUNY University, City University of New York Graduate Center. I'm a scholar of the Middle East, as well as race in the United States, and also carcerality. I focus a lot on mass incarceration. For the last maybe 15 years, I've been a journalist as well. I've hosted at HuffPost Live. I've hosted at BET, VH1. I was a contributor for CNN, as you mentioned, and Fox News at one point. I continue to be one at Al Jazeera.
Yeah,
where I'm a host up front, the show up front every week.
Hell yeah. Incredible work. You also, I did not know this until recently, you also speak Arabic.
My recent field work has been in East Jerusalem, in the African quarter of East Jerusalem. Spent a lot of time, studying Afro-Palestinian communities, among others. And yeah, the language is part of the field work.
We're going to be talking a little bit about some serious stuff, and then a whole bunch of not so serious stuff. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. So
Love that.
Yesterday, while the Super Bowl was happening, Israel decided to start bombing Rafah, which was coming up for, I guess, like a week. They had signaled that they were going to start bombing Rafah. Rafah is the southernmost point of the Gaza Strip, for those of you who do not know. And it is the area that is supposed to be like the last remaining safe space. They originally forced the Palestinians to evacuate from northern Gaza, saying that there was going to be a military operation there, into southern Gaza. Then they started bombing different parts of southern Gaza all the way into Rafah, which is where the Rafah border crossing is with Egypt. It is literally the southernmost point. The estimates are that there are more than 1 million Palestinian civilians remaining. And this was a particularly bloody campaign, as far as I understand, that also coincided with the Shin Bet doing a special operation to rescue 2 hostages simultaneously. And the cost of that was more than 100 Palestinians that were killed ruthlessly as a simple distraction. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that and where you fall on this. I mean, and update people as well on the issue.
Yeah, we're in an extraordinarily depressing, dire kind of moment. What's happening in Rafah is especially troublesome right now. We begin from the premise that Israel's campaign has not been to wage war on Hamas, but to wage war on the Palestinian people. It's kind of the only way this makes sense. Everything else will confuse you if you don't begin from the place of understanding that colonies going to colonize, right? The move from the south to the north, or from the north to the south, has not been without serious peril for Palestinians from the beginning. The whole argument was, oh, we're the most moral army in the world. We're the most principled army in the world. We give you notice. We do this. We do this. And what we have found is, in some ways, they've explicitly abandoned their strategies of things like roof knocking as a way of giving warnings. And they've said, like, look, after October 7th, we ain't warning you about anything, basically. And then there were the people.
Roof knocking in and of itself is already like a pretty ridiculous practice, but it was, in my opinion, done specifically to obviously market Israel's actions to the Western world as though they are the most moral army.
Right. And they've used October 7th as a pretext to say, look, we tried this liberal BS. Now we're going to just have to go, whole hog. And for those who don't know, the idea of roof knocking is to drop a kind of to drop a munition on a structure, a house, whatever, as a warning to say, hey, get out within X amount of time. The problem is X amount of time is not enough time. They don't even observe the rules that they say they're going to follow. Oh, you got 72 hours, and then within a few hours, people are getting hit. Or you got 72 hours or 24 hours or whatever. Take this road, and then you take that road, and that road gets hit. Anything that's supposed to be safe are not safe. And so against the backdrop of that, you see people now in Rafah. Rafah is supposed to have maybe 250,000 people, 200,000 people, and that's still dense. And now you're looking at over 1 million people there, 1.2 maybe million people there. And they're there ostensibly for safety. And now, because the Israeli state has decided that this is a Hamas breeding ground and it's littered with violence and terrorism, that now they're going to do ground invasions there. They're going to continue to strike there. And so they're now asking people to move north, except now they have nowhere to go. They have no way of getting there. Lots of children with no parents. Lots of people most people with no vehicles. 1.7 million out of 2.2 with no house, no shelter. It's freezing cold at night. We could list all the things that make movement almost impossible. And then the very pathways that they're taking to safety or to ostensible safety are littered with violence. Any further violence, any further military invasion into Rafah will lead to a humanitarian disaster. That's according to independent bodies, human rights organizations, etc. And the Israeli government, once again, has said, look, we'd love not to do it. We really aren't into this whole genocide thing. However, Hamas, they're everywhere. They're leaving us with no choice. And so as a result, what's happening in Rafah is kind of the culmination of the last 4 or 5 months, any response we have right now, as we see another mosque destroyed, as we see hospitals being sieged, as we see more innocent people dead, is we have to demand an immediate ceasefire in order to prevent something worse from happening.
There are people in the chat saying that this wasn't actually a real hostage operation. The hostage operation was earlier, and that the Israeli government is simply claiming that it was a cover to provide cover for the hostage operation. Sure that you guys understand this. I should have said this is the Israeli military's reasoning, claiming that they were killing at least 67 people according to the health ministry. So that they could provide military cover as Shin Bet rescued 2 hostages. There's always a lot of post hoc rationalizations and post hoc evidence gathering, evidence in air quotes. Whenever there's something going on that's specific, Israel always finds, CNN will write a report on 16 cemeteries that are desecrated, and then the next day, the IDF will be like, actually, here's a Hamas headquarters under a cemetery. That's why we had to destroy 16 cemeteries, right? And it's really interesting how that always happens. UNRWA, which has been a burden, a thorn on Benjamin Netanyahu and far right Israeli sides for the crimes of keeping Palestinians alive, hiring 13,000 Palestinians, being like a major lifeline for many Palestinians, because it's not just a UN-backed organization, but one that actually hires Palestinians directly and plays a big role in their civic life. This is a organization that Israel has routinely criticized and wanted to abolish, eviscerate, destroy. And then after the ICJ decision, which also, of course, featured testimonials from UNRWA workers and whatnot, Israel very quickly offered, in the most liberal way possible, describe as misinformation, to claim that 12 out of the 13,000 UNRWA employees were actually collaborating. Were actually collaborating with Hamas on October 7th, and therefore this organization needs to be cut. This organization's funding needs to be cut. Additional investigation found out that much of that information was also untrue, and now they found another Hamas headquarters, like a base of operations directly under an UNRWA facility. That's what Israel found recently. So they do this all the time.
This timing is so absurd that you would think the rest of the world would notice, right? On the day of an ICJ decision, suddenly this UNRWA dossier gets revealed to the mass public that discredits the United Nations altogether. I mean, it's ridiculous stuff.
There's also another story. I don't know if you're familiar with this. The story of Hind Rajab, 6 years old, and the way that the British media covered this story. I'm actually kind of surprised that this hasn't gotten more coverage overall. But this is a 6-year-old that was, I guess, found dead in Gaza days after phone calls for help. And the way this article utilizes neutrality as a weapon,
voice.
Yes. Yeah, I've never seen passive voice to this degree. Like the media, the mainstream press in the Western world basically writes about the IDF as though they are the police. Dealing with the people of color.
It's a really disturbing tale for a few reasons. I mean, one obviously is the actual death itself, right? When this young woman was child was killed or was died in this car, the only one who survived from an attack. I'm starting to hear right-wing Israelis and other people say it was Palestinians who killed the family. I have seen no evidence of that. We have audio recordings of this girl actually making phone calls, trying to get help. So this was some of the journalists who were killed in the last month. Even when people are killed or not killed and they're looking for medical help, there's blockades, there's physical obstruction. It's impossible to get the kind of support that you need. And in this case, she lost her aunt, her uncle, she lost cousins. And once again, when you look at the overall Palestinian child population, tens of thousands of it are now parentless or guardianless because of the amount of people who have been killed.
Along with several of her relatives and 2 paramedics who tried to save her after they appeared to have come under fire from Israeli tanks. And
right.
like even in that situation, like you're burying the lead in the subtitle. I don't know how that's even possible. That like right. you openly admit that it's like
before they weren't even mentioning the Israeli tanks. It was just like 6-year-old girl found dead in car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The title is Hind Rajab 6 found dead in Gaza days after phone calls for help, like as though this was like an earthquake or something. This was a car that was attacked by Israeli tanks, and then the Palestinian Red Crescent made efforts with an ambulance on the evening of January 29th to find Hind Rajab after phone calls that she made because they believe that she was trapped in the vehicle in Gaza City with 6 dead family members, and the A group said that they had been killed by Israeli fire deliberately. And the Red Crescent statement on Saturday also accused the Israeli forces of bombing the ambulance as it arrived just meters away from the vehicle containing the trapped child and killing 2 rescuers inside. We know that the Israeli military also has snipers trained on people that they wound deliberately and then shoot civilians that try to recover the wounded and try to save the wounded. They openly open fire on civilians that are trying to help out other civilians in any part of Gaza.
Innocent people are being killed in houses, in cars, in shelters, in hospitals. And, Amnesty International just today, in fact, talked about, and they said that there's no legitimate, they haven't found any legitimate military operation, no legitimate combatant, no legitimate target to justify this type of violence.
Be on the lookout for post-mortem slander for how 6-year-old Palestinian girls are also somehow Hamas.
And we saw this in the States, with the civil injunctions against gangs. Was they had these initiatives where they would put people on gang lists and watch lists. What does it mean to be connected to a gang if you live in South Central Los Angeles, right? I mean, everybody's 1 degree of separation from somebody. It's damn near impossible to have a job, to be employed, to live somewhere, to be a human being and not be 1 or 2 degrees of separation directly from the people that the state are trying to kill, or that the Israeli state is trying to kill. And so you can make a case that anybody has a Hamas affiliation. Anybody's loosely connected to Hamas. And so when they kill our journalists, they can say, oh, well, they were part of Hamas. And you find out they just worked at the radio station.
Yeah. It's completely unacceptable. It's ethnic cleansing through and through, and it is a damn shame that the Western world, the Western leadership, specifically the United States of America, is not only not doing anything about this, but also offering full support, full-throated support, as a matter of fact, like cutting off UNRWA funding when America is the largest funder of UNRWA. A day after the ICJ court decision was, in my opinion, a very deliberate, very straightforward statement that they were making about how we do not give a fuck about the international rule-based order unless we are the ones who are writing the rules and we are the ones making the orders, which is something that I truly do think America believes. Also, earlier, here it is. As far as the bombing campaign in Rafah, the IDF and Shin Bet have been working, according to Barak Ravid, the IDF and Shin Bet have been working on the rescue operation for several weeks based on intelligence. The operational opportunity came today. The Israeli Air Force conducted heavy airstrikes in Rafah as a diversion to allow the extraction of the 2 hostages, which once again, ridiculous to claim that like in order to save quote unquote 2 hostages, you had to kill 60 people, like 60 civilian Palestinians. It's gross. I don't think it even works, but I don't think they even care at this point.
And they never cared, but October 7th destroys the pretext, right? So now you can just say, what happened to us was so awful that anything that happens in retaliation is appropriate. I mean, I've been told that effectively by Israeli government leaders and representatives and former leaders. You know, they say, you know, did you see what they did to us on October 7th? And because they're advancing the narrative of Palestinian brutality and barbarity, and I would argue, and international law certainly supports the idea that even if the worst things imaginable happened, you still have to follow the law. You still have to follow the rules of war. You still have to follow the conventions. But
obviously, Israel gets a shit ton of funding from the United States of America to the tune of almost $10 million a day. Barack Obama, on his way out, signed a $38 billion 10-year security package for Israel. So what does Israel do with all that funding other than killing Palestinian children? Well, some of the funds at least goes back to the Israeli ministry making an ad for the fucking Super Bowl and buying a Super Bowl ad slot. So let's watch this ad real quick. This is the ad that ran during the Super Bowl. It's called "Bring All the Dads Back Home."
To all the dads, the funny ones, the silly ones, the strong ones, the adventurous ones. To all the dads held in captivity by Hamas for over 120 days, we vow to bring you home.
Sponsored by the State of Israel, hashtag Bring All Dads Back Home. This was the State of Israel ad that ran. The Benjamin Netanyahu war cabinet does not give a fuck about the hostages, okay? Beyond using the Israeli prisoners of war and the hostages as a talking point to continue justifying their ethnic cleansing campaign, they don't give a shit. They so don't give a shit that most of the opposition in Israel to the IDF's actions, right, come from the hostage family members who have been demanding a ceasefire for months now, and the protests are growing and growing and growing.
I mean, I think you've captured it pretty accurately for the most part. Now, I might disagree with whether or not they care about the hostages. I think there's a way that they actually genuinely do care about the hostages, because I think that unlike Palestinians, they see them as people. Campaign is less about the hostages and more about normalizing a certain kind of understanding and disposition toward the Israeli state as it continues to prosecute this war in Gaza. In the middle of the Super Bowl, you now have the mainstream American public. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but you know, almost every American is watching the Super Bowl, and they're now accepting this narrative as the normative one. There's not going to be a counter narrative offered, and so we're constantly getting fed a single narrative, a single diet, a diet of a single narrative, and so that's very, very dangerous, very, very troublesome. Yeah, the timing is questionable. I think you're right. So many bombings happen, so many strikes happen, so much shelling happens, so many sieges happen. But the fact that it happened during the Super Bowl and the only information we got access to by the mainstream corporate media was that Israel really wants to bring dads home.
So that was one aspect that I wanted to talk about. The other aspect was also Joe Biden's tone deaf tweet talking about how, you know, just like we drew it up. I don't know what kind of like right-wing mania will come out of this. I mean, I'm excited to see. I'm a little worried. I assume there will be like at least a couple people that end up right-wing QAnon guys are going to go and like do YouTube live streams of like their patricide decapitations or whatever, as the media conveniently ignores that and rarely discusses it so they can like yell about, I don't know, a couple of migrants in New York that got beat up by cops or whatever. But
right.
What do you think will happen, I guess, in the American election, considering how Biden has been received so far? by even the Democratic Party, and how he has treated the situation in Gaza thus far.
Yeah, I think Biden is holding tight to the strategy that, hey, being lockstep with Israel has never failed an American president running for office, right? Like you don't lose an election because of your stance on Israel. The access we have to what's happening on the ground continues to expand, and as a result, more and more people are frustrated, and so you now see young voters who aren't going to support this. You see progressive and radical voters who aren't going to support this. I think what you're going to see is a lot of people who just stay home. You're going to see a lot of people who vote third party. You're going to see a lot of people who are just dissatisfied. And then, I mean, if you look at even in Michigan, where, you know, he was going to Dearborn and Ann Arbor and other places, and the Arabs were like, yo, no. Like, there's nothing you could tell us to make us vote for you. There's absolutely nothing you could offer us that makes sense. And so don't even show up. I think Palestine, I think Gaza in particular, is going to be an issue that severely impairs Joe Biden's ability to successfully run for president.
What I've said over and over again, I think, is that it's not even just that Biden isn't like sufficiently pro-Israel or sufficiently anti-Israel, but rather Biden's wishy-washy approach to Israel is, on the one hand, he talks about how, like, Israel needs to cut it out, Jack, but also simultaneously offering massive weapons packages and behind closed doors seemingly offering no red lines, even though he claims that he's trying to get Israel to make concessions, in my opinion, shows a lack of having a clear-cut direction on the issue of Israel, which then makes him look weak. Trump currently leads Biden by 10 points on the issue of Israel. Why? It's partially, one, because Trump is currently not president, right? So there's always a big benefit to that. Is because Trump is consistent, at least, on the issue of Israel, whereas Biden shows inconsistency by claiming that he wants peace, claiming that he wants a two-state solution, as Benjamin Netanyahu routinely undermines him. I think the way he's handled this issue plays into that as well.
Right. That's 100% true. That's 100% factual. And, you know, the thing about Biden is, but Joe Biden's like, I'm a Zionist.
Oh, yeah. After the beginning of the Lebanese invasion, where he was like, I would do even more. I would be even more genocidal. Like he was to the right of Israel at a certain point on these issues, which is like crazy.
And the tactic and the strategy is now is to not show any disagreement. That there's not an inch of daylight. That they're shoulder to shoulder. All the stupid metaphors. He's far more concerned with looking weak on this issue. He's far more concerned with Trump being able to move him. If Trump moves him on this issue, you run the risk of Jewish American voters who overwhelmingly vote Democrat of saying, look, times have changed. This is an extreme exception to our rule, but we're going to go Trump. That's another worry that Biden has, or just that the general centrist voter who sees this issue as a sign of a bigger unrest in the Middle East, and they're worried about Iran, and they're worried about this, and they're worried about that. And they're going to say, you know what, we're sorry, we have to go elsewhere for our vote. Biden's in a tough spot here as somebody whose primary interest is in, controlling the empire as opposed to making the world better. If your goal is to get rid of Hamas, this ain't the way. I think Anthony Blinken has become increasingly vocal as well. And now in the aftermath of the ICJ decision, they can at least just parrot what the ICJ says, hey, just take all cautions, right? To make sure this isn't happening. And I think that's given them a language and a kind of escape hatch to talk about this thing in a different way.
You said that America has no leverage. I actually disagree on that. I do think that America has a lot of leverage. I think that at least the American track record has shown time and time again that like when America makes a phone call and tells you to cut this shit out, like Israel usually follows through. Yoav Gallant was the defense minister, was questioned in a press briefing in Israel as to why they were allowing food trucks and humanitarian supplies to actually go into Gaza, because originally they had blockaded it, if you recall. Well, America said we have to do it, so what can we do? Biden has actually stopped in 2021, made a phone call and told them, it's over, cut it out. We're done to stop the bombing campaigns. I think we have a lot of leverage.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not being clear. Yes, the U.S. has actual leverage. I mean more as a practical matter, given what they're not willing to do. If they said, if you don't do this, we're going to publicly rebuke you, of course. If they said, look, we're going to use our UN Security Council power and authority and vote to rebuke you all, then sure. We know that they're never going to condition money on anything. And I think Netanyahu knows that Biden is vulnerable here on this issue.
Yeah, and it's wrong. And that's the issue. And I think that is literally translating even to apolitical voters who don't give a fuck about Israel in general as weakness. Benjamin Netanyahu very openly does not give a shit and has kind of done his very best, I would say, to ensure Biden's chances of re-election are diminished. And saying the exact opposite of what Biden is saying the day prior. Like Biden will be like, there's going to be a two-state solution. Like there has to be. Benjamin Netanyahu goes on television and says, there will never be a two-state solution. It's done. We're not doing that. That's not going to happen. Biden comes across even more old and more feeble and more senile, where he's like, oh, well, there will be. There's different kinds of two-state solutions. And talk about it from like the upcoming election and how it looks and how it reads. Horrible way to go about it.
I'm not convinced that any of this. I'm not convinced that any of this works out well for him. And for Netanyahu, a Trump presidency is the ideal outcome because Trump is willing to do whatever. Right? He was willing to actually not sign the waiver for the Embassy Act. He was willing to cut the funds for UNRWA. Now, again, Trump is not a new form of American foreign policy. He doesn't represent a shift in American foreign policy. He's just American foreign policy on steroids.
Yeah.
I feel ready to see another Trump presidency. Let me be clear. I don't want one. I've just accepted that we're moving in the wrong direction and that we're likely going to see one. And that's going to mean a lot of things for a lot of people, but it's certainly going to mean hell for the Palestinians. And any kind of peaceful solution will be. I'm not optimistic, man. I got to run, but we got to do this again soon, bro.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. By the way, FD Signifier hooked this up with Mark coming on. Mark, like I said, I've been a big fan of your work for a very long time. It was a real honor to have you. All right, well, thank you so much
for making this happen. Yeah, thanks, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, that was Mark Lamont Hill, everybody. I want to talk about the Super Bowl commercials because there were a lot of commercials that were absolutely insane, including like the Jesus AI ones. There were a couple moments that I thought were really funny. So everything that obviously you guys watched, right-wingers watched as well on TV, except they watched from the lens of being absolutely schizophrenic. Okay? Like completely insane. One of the things obviously is the most common meta of the Super Bowl being scripted. But this time it was scripted for the purposes of allowing Travis Kelce and also Taylor Swift and Joe Brandon of achieving victory in the upcoming election, right? They're so deeply disturbed in the brain that like they're hallucinating without any additional drugs, which I think can be cool, right? If Travis Kelce did what it looks like and shoved his coach in anger, he should be benched for the game. Like, dude, you're just a fucking pussy, dude. You are such a goddamn pussy. Like, what do you mean? How is this even aligned with your supposed, like, right-wing aesthetics? Like, you're the macho alpha man. He needs to be benched. He yelled at his coach. He needs to be benched immediately. He could have killed him. It's like, dude, this is so soy. You're such a bitch. You are such a fucking bitch, dude. Okay? You're such a bitch. He's just a Niners fan. No, he's not even a Niners fan. He's trying to do culture war shit. Swifties, how do you feel about this? Does Travis Kelce's violent outburst worry you? If he'd assault a 65-year-old man on live TV, what might he be capable of with Taylor Swift when the cameras aren't rolling? Like, this is the type of tweet that you would get from, like, someone who is obviously, one, mentally unwell, okay, but on the Radlib side. Like, this is literally some woke-ass bullshit, dude. But obviously, the well it goes far beyond. We get it now. It's good versus evil, not Republicans versus Democrats. Remember, good always prevails over evil. It just takes time for evil to make their mistakes. They're even mad at Taylor Swift chugging beer, dude. What the fuck? Taylor Swift, the whitest woman alive, chugging a goddamn beer at the fucking Super Bowl is supposed to be something that is like made for conservative fantasy. Oh yeah, what a real role model, how to shug a beer on live TV. You think this woman named Tara didn't slam a fucking brewski before she posted that? This woman lives on menthol cigarettes and Bud Light, okay? She was legitimately devastated that she had to switch over to another fucking version of cheap piss when Bud Light came out as pro-trans. My mom praying when the Chiefs were about to win because she thinks them winning means Biden is president again. I can't. I mean, listen, this is fucking not real, okay? I wish it was, though. Breaking, Tucker Carlson vows that if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and validate the attention Taylor Swift is getting for the games, I'm going to kill myself. I wish that was a real thing that Tucker Carlson said. It would make me so much happier. I found your new favorite hog talking about the Super Bowl.
So, are we going back to segregation? Because what's up with the black national anthem being played at NFL? What's next? The Chinese one? The Romanian one?
What the fuck? Wait, what? The Romanian one?
The Latino one? What? Why?
The famous countries, black, Latino, Romanian, Chinese. He's not German, dude. He's definitely somewhere from the Balkans.
I'm gonna be like, that's not happening. I'm gonna bring you receipts.
I think he's probably Romanian.
So don't even try. Like, why? This is for everybody on the left. Why are you so hell-bent to divide us even more? Why can't we be one nation under God? This great experiment that America...
Oh my God, he saw a cop. You know his ass saw a cop.
Right?
Look.
And continue, learn from the mistakes of the past, and continue this great experiment that America...
Yeah, you can see it. That's so sick. I don't even know what the black national anthem is. Like, I don't know what he was talking about. Lift Every Voice and Sing. Andre Day sang it last night. Oh, I thought he was talking about like Usher's halftime show or something. That's so funny. I don't know. I thought he was either talking about one, the halftime show, or B, a black person singing or the national anthem or something. I don't know who sang the national anthem, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm mad making this video, so I may say something offensive, okay? So excuse my language. So y'all, what the fuck is black national anthem? What if I demanded Asian national anthem? And what if some of y'all demanded white national anthem?
He said, what about a white national anthem? It's like, yeah, it's just called the national anthem, dog. This guy's awesome. Why are these all like first gen immigrants? I mean, I guess they've integrated. It's perfect. There is no better example of cultural assimilation that happens instantaneously than like having a Vietnamese dude who normally would be like hate crimed, okay? Be like, no, we should be doing hate crimes, actually. How else could you get more American, dude?
Because that's bullshit, okay? That's divisive, okay? I don't like the divisiveness. We are one race only, which is human race, okay? Black America, do you want to be separated from the rest of the country? I don't think so, right? We have only one national anthem, which is the Star Spangled Banner. That's it. Can we just watch sports, yo? Like, which out?
Yeah, dude. Famously non-political Super Bowl, okay, with an ad directly for like continuing Israel's genocide, please. Paid for basically by the American government, and then coming back into those funds coming back into the United States. And then beyond that, we had an RFK Jr. ad. Every part of the Super Bowl is fucking political, man. It's just that there is no better example that political only means not the dominant status quo politics. It's no different than like when gamers think that Call of Duty is not political, but like having a woman in a video game is. Okay? It's of course it's politics. The NFL's politics up and down.
How are y'all dealing with the reality, the actual reality?
Let's talk about what I observed yesterday during number 58. You know what 58 is. Now, see, I didn't partake in it. I observed what was happening. There's a difference. When you partake, you're joining in. When you're observing, you're watching what's taking place. Didn't you love how all of the fraudulent celebrities were pushing Bud Light like they were pushing the jab 2 years ago? And how many people predicted that the Chiefs would win? I did. I mean, the writing was on the wall with neon graffiti that Helen Keller, if she was alive today before Ann Sullivan, would see that the Chiefs were going to win. And don't you love how they're trying to make Miss Swifty Swift look so cool when the camera was on her and she's chugging down that drink and slamming it on the table, showing all the young people across the country how cool she is because her and Kelsey are about to hit the campaign trail with old shit pants. Yeah, that was planned. Orchestrated.
Hell yeah, brother. Most normal conservative. God, I love conservatism.
And executed. We all know that. I didn't watch. We don't want them sucking energy from me or anybody else. Energy harvesting. Yeah, that was part of it too. There's no mysteries anymore. It's planned. There's no who's going to win. We all know at this point because they're not even hiding their devilish deeds anymore. Instinctually sound folks are simply not falling for this bullshit that they're not even hiding anymore. And if you're still believing that these people are great and the government's great and these celebrities are so wonderful, you're an idiot. Ciao, ciao.
There is no way that I heard on my way back from taking a piss and this fucking incredibly conservative rant with a chow chow. What the fuck? I must have not heard it correctly.
That these people are great and the government's great and these celebrities are so wonderful, you're an idiot. Ciao, ciao.
What the fuck is going on, dude?
Of course the Super Bowl was rigged. Life is nothing but a game, and we're not playing in it. Once you overstay the rules to the Matrix, you will look at life completely different. Remember, they have to use numbers. They always use numbers to get out their message. Patrick Mahomes.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. This is mental illness. Like, it's just mental illness. Like, this is a medical condition masquerading as like political commentary. Could this be religious psychosis? I mean, it's definitely not mental clarity. It's the opposite of that.
Mahomes have 333 passing yards. Hardman catches the winning touchdown. 1 + 2 is 3. He scores the winning touchdown when there's 3 seconds left on the clock. Patrick Mahomes wins his 3rd Super Bowl. The halftime score was 3-10-13. I made a video trying to warn people that the end of this year actually was 1-2-3, 1-2-3, a mirror reality. But it's a much deeper.
I mean, this is the final stage. When you're doing like numerology stuff like this, you're just completely out of control, you know?
Message when it comes to these games that these people play. The reason why number 3 was so powerful in the Super Bowl is because we live in a 3rd dimension. What people don't overstate is this old world is actually collapsing. They was trying to tell you they're about to get rid of the old system. It goes back to the pyramid. There are 3 points to a pyramid because you need 3 points to make things manifest. You need the good, the bad, and you get the outcome. The 49ers represented the gold that was stole from the original people on this land. And the Chiefs was actually the native people to this land. They're letting you know they're about to take the land. So many people are mad like the Super Bowl was rigged. It was scripted. Let me tell you something. Your entire life is a script.
This is what happens when you paywall healthcare. That's it. Yeah, just wake up already, dude. What are you doing, dumbass?
Taylor's lucky number, which bodes very well for the Chiefs.
Super Bowl 58, 5 + 8 is 13. February 11th, 2-11,
oh my God.
13. Versus the 49ers, 4-9.
Oh my God.
13. 1 seed versus 3 seed, 13.
Oh my God.
Brock Purdy's jersey
Anyone's
number.
putting money on the Niners at this point?
Yeah.
You're fighting God. You're fighting God herself.
I like that jokes like this are virtually indistinguishable from like real opinions held by people at this stage.
I've already got plans to watch the Super Bowl this year because it's very exciting. I do not know anything about football. Also, my dad, he's a big 49ers fan, so it's kind of exciting because I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs and my dad is rooting for the 49ers, and I'm actually going to watch the Super Bowl this year, okay? I messaged Cutie yesterday and I said, can we watch the Super Bowl together? Fellow Swifties. And she said, I'm having a party. Come over. Yes! Are you rooting for the Chiefs or are you rooting for Travis? No, I'm rooting for the Chiefs, okay? Patrick Mahomes. Is that how I say it? Anyways, I don't watch football. I watched 1 year, the Patriots versus something. It was the most boring thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, people have been like, name 3 Chiefs players, fuck you. The gender crossover.
I just want to formally apologize to every man that I've ever rolled my eyes at for screaming at the TV during a fucking football game. Because the noise that came out of me when the Kansas City Chiefs won. What a fucking show! Oh my god, I'm so sorry that I never watched football before, because that was... Anyways, to all my boys, I'm so sorry that I made fun of you. Like, I completely get it now. I'm one of you!
Anyway, I'm losing my mind a little bit. Okay, this is not exactly a good representation for women being into sports. Okay.
49er fan is sad. It was a great game, like Steven said, and it was so clear to me that women are very much a targeted demographic for football ads. Guys, there was a lengthy ad right before kickoff about...
I just want to point out that 85% of consumer choices are made by women in the United States of America. 85% women be shopping is not only a stereotype, but also very much real. Like, there is empirical evidence to show that. So, of course, the NFL loves that. Women make the household consumer purchase decisions in general. So, it's just the fucking truth. It's the undeniable truth. Women own the American economy. RFK Jr. came out with an ad or a pack that I guess is owned by the guy who was the LimeWire guy who loves RFK Jr. He came out with a pro RFK Jr. ad for the Super Bowl. I feel like they could have done a better job.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through? A man who's old enough to know and young enough to do? Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
American Value 2024 is responsible for the contents of this advertisement.
This is based off of JFK's old ads? Yeah, I know, man. What? What are you talking about? I know. That's why it literally says, vote Democratic, Kennedy for president. No, they just took the ad, did the worst motion tracking you've ever seen on the ad. Basically, all the ads this year are like this, by the way. They're just like, it's just like, in some instances, like weird AI shit, okay? In other instances, it's just like really bad, really ham-fisted. Like they crammed in the last second, it seems like. The Pfizer one looked like fucked up AI too. Yeah, I thought so too. And I personally think that this is really going to do numbers, dude. Christianity's coming back in a big way, okay? No way, that's the actual... What? Wait. Okay, this part is like really funny too, because this is like a I think a gay black person and this like a Christian person like going extra hard on washing this person's foot. He washed feet. It's an actual thing for Catholics to do in Easter, but not this level of cringe. Wow. The feet are so fucked up by the AI. So was this AI art or not? Because it looked like it was AI art, but maybe it's not. Because look, I'm looking at the feet and it looks kind of like it might be AI, but anyway, I thought it was real weird. And then these brain dead fucks like Ollie London said that they're trying to make Christianity woke, by the way, even though it's fucking paid for by the Hobby Lobby. A Christian organization spent $14 million on a Super Bowl ad to push woke messaging. Jesus didn't teach hate. Some of the images include climate change message, a woman in a hijab, and a person washing someone's feet outside of an abortion clinic. And it's so funny to fucking literally some right-wing reactionary group is like actually paying for like a pro-Christianity ad. And then having this guy come in and be like, no, you don't understand. Actually, like Christianity is about being hateful, which is so funny because, yeah, if you are a right-wing Republican, Christianity is about being hateful. So technically, Ollie London isn't wrong. Oh my God, Matt Walsh made a whole ass video on it. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh God, we got to watch this now. Oh
Cannot
shit.
give a full analysis of the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl ads if for whatever reason anyone actually wanted me to do that. I watched the game rather half-heartedly, paying only vague attention because I was bitter that my Baltimore Ravens weren't playing in it. I'll admit that. I was bitter.
It is really sad whenever I see stuff that's like humanizing. For example, the fact that he's a fucking Baltimore Ravens fan, it makes me very frustrated. I hate when you have like this guy is just all hatred. Okay? So for him to have any humanizing moment, I'm like, fuck you, dude.
The people that are behind He Gets Us do have that money, which means they have a unique chance that few Christians will ever have. They're able to present a message to 100 million people all at the same time. In fact, this Super Bowl is certain to be among the most watched events of all time, making this an unprecedented, or nearly unprecedented at least, opportunity. So what message will they send out to those 100 million souls? Will they call the world to repentance, to humility, to obedience, to virtue?
I mean, technically, they did do that. I mean, it is like their ad literally was the most like Christian ass ad. This goes to show that for conservatives, and this is something we already know, Christianity is simply about being mean, okay? He's vice signaling against Christianity because a Christian group literally was trying to market itself as like more tolerant rather than less tolerant. It's every part of their identity. It's like their core principle is just like, no, you don't understand, dog. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad fucking guy. I hate everyone. I want to kill people. I'm just evil.
They did this. Watch.
It's so funny. Like, no, dude, these are literally hateful people behind this ad. They're doing marketing. They're literally promoting like Christianity from the perspective of like humility. And Matt is so mad.
Okay, so for those listening to the audio podcast, the ad consists of images, which may not have been AI generated, but certainly look AI generated. We see the words, "Jesus didn't teach hate, he washed feet," appear on the screen.
It's so funny. That message is so funny. It makes Jesus look like he's a foot fetishist.
The actual images themselves and what they specifically depict, the very deliberate choices that were made and who gets their feet washed and who does the washing. We can already determine that the ad is, at best, a wasted opportunity. The most generous thing I could possibly say about a message like Jesus didn't teach hate is that it's redundant and pointless and benign. It's the only thing that most people these days know about Jesus. The fact that Jesus didn't go around telling his followers to hate people.
Bro, he's mad. Why are you mad then? Yeah, give us like lesser known facts about Jesus, like how he was totally fine with sex work. I don't know. Is that what you want?
These days. So no.
He's like, everybody knows Jesus loves people. How about Jesus hates people? You love Jesus, but you're bringing up his most famous album? It kind of doesn't seem like you love Jesus. It kind of seems like you're just a phony Jesus fan. Why are you gatekeeping Jesus? You literally just like, man, it's really fucked up that these guys did an ad and then only talked about like Jesus being open-minded to everyone. Jesus loved them hoes, okay? He did. He hung out with prostitutes. What do you mean? The fuck are you talking about? Jesus was gay fit, hung out with prostitutes, literally has a Mexican name. Jesus is a gay guy in WeHo. What the fuck are you talking about? He's got a body that won't quit. The only type of body you can achieve if you go to Equinox West Hollywood. Okay?
We should hate bad things and we should love good things. This also may seem obvious, but it's a distinction that many people in our world often miss, which brings us to the images on the screen. So who are the people getting their feet washed? Well, we see a few sort of non-specific, generic feet washing scenarios, if that can even exist. And then we see a white man washing the feet of a Native American. We see another white man washing the feet of a climate protester. We see a white woman washing the feet of, I guess, her Muslim neighbor. We see a white woman washing the feet of an illegal immigrant. We see a cop washing the feet of a black guy in a back alley. Kind of strange. I don't know what's going on there. We see a priest washing the feet of a gay black guy on the beach. And then we see a woman. You'll notice that, unsurprisingly, the ad is very careful to make sure that it doesn't depict a white person getting his feet washed by a non-white person. So we see
he's mad that there's like only white people are doing the washing. He's like, come on, man. Why won't you do like a black guy washing a white guy's foot? I wonder why. Perhaps that depiction would look weird to normal Americans. You know, Americans who are not fucking as obsessed with like white superiority as Matt Walsh is, because he's paid to be as obsessed.
Every combination of feet washing going on, except for that one. Apparently, Jesus calls us to wash feet unless you're black and the other person is white, because that would be racist. If they had reversed the roles in any of these scenarios, then the ad would have been, to at least some small degree, culturally subversive. Okay, what if it was the black guy washing the feet of the cop?
The entire point is power dynamics, bro. What the fuck? What if it's a slave washing the foot of a slave master, for example? You know, a historic depiction. I wonder why a marketing initiative didn't just have this like obviously insane depiction that would look really fucking racist. I'm no big city lawyer. I am not a fucking theologist, okay? And it's very strange to me. I'm not a Christian. I didn't grow up Christian. I didn't grow up in a Christian country. And yet, even I get what the fuck's going on when I watch an ad that is supposed to promote Christianity to a broad audience. Matt, on the other hand, who's supposedly a Christian, only cares about Christianity from the framework of just being hateful. Like, he's like, I don't understand. Why is this ad not bigoted? What the fuck's going on? Give me bigotry. Everybody knows Jesus loves everyone. How about how many people Jesus hates? Give me bigotry.
But you would never see that. Okay, even though, and people defend the ad to say, well, are you saying we shouldn't love each other? Okay, well then why don't we have the black guy wash the cops' feet? Shouldn't he love cops? If you saw that, well, that sends the wrong message. We can't have that. But you know, at least that would have offered the viewer something that they don't already see. It would have given them something to think about. It would have challenged the viewer. Aside from the political correctness with the racial dynamics, what's the problem? Well, to begin with,
I legitimately think he's like a fucking idiot, right? Ben Shapiro actually fakes it. Like, I mean, he's a bigoted person, obviously, but he like greatly amps it up for content. I think Matt Walsh is like obviously a real legitimate hateful person, but he's also kind of stupid. Like, I don't think this is one of those moments where Matt Walsh is doing this video and is secretly like, yeah, I don't really give a shit, but like, I don't know. We got to make content somehow, right? Like, I think he's legit like dumb and very fucking racist that he's like, why didn't the Christian ad, you know, showcase racism? Like, that would be cool. Like, the entire point is Jesus is the... Why does the Pope wash people's feet, dog? Why do you think? Think, Matt. Think, Matt. Think. Why does the Pope wash people's feet? The random people are the powerless ones. He goes to Africa and he washes like tribe members' feet and shit. Why does he do that, Matt? Because he's the one in power. He's one of the most powerful people on the fucking planet. And he, much like Jesus, is like doing this thing to showcase like he's humbling himself. That's why all of those depictions show people with power, with more power in the dynamic, washing the people that are powerless in that circumstance. What the fuck? How am I, a Muslim man, trying to fucking, and a really bad one at that too, like just a culturally Muslim person, grew up in a Muslim country, not exactly a fucking dude who gives a shit about religion at all. Why am I the one describing to a guy who brands himself as a real Christian, okay, literally calls himself a theocratic fascist? Why am I describing this to the Christian guy who's just mad that like there is a very real power dynamic in Christianity, or very real power dynamic in the world, and Christianity is supposed to show that you're supposed to be humbling yourself constantly and be more understanding of the other? It's so funny. This is literally supply side Jesus shit, dude. He's doing it unironically. Remember the joke? Jesus is not going to heal the lepers because they're out of coverage, that sort of thing, right? That's like a very old, back when liberals were based, meme. Supply side Jesus is a very prescient, very funny joke, okay? Except Matt is literally doing that. He's like, why did Jesus even heal the lepers? Like, Jesus should have privatized his healthcare. It's obvious to me that Jesus actually should have been a defender of private healthcare, private health insurance. It's weird. Jesus should have beat the shit out of Mary Magdalene, actually, and chastised her for being a prostitute. Not allowed. It's not good. I don't like that. I think it's really fucked up. And it's like a very odd thing to just like look at Christianity, like look at the Bible and look at the most obvious lessons in the Bible and be like, that's woke. They are becoming the meme that like they're so fucking mean and so ruthless and so shitty as people that they literally are claiming that the Bible is too woke. Yeah, I hate love thy neighbor. I'm here to kill thy neighbor, okay? Love thy neighbor. How about arming yourself with an AR-15 and killing your neighbor because you were really scared that someone broke into your house and you fired it and the NATO rounds pierced through all of your fucking paper-thin walls and actually killed your neighbor while they were sleeping. That's what Jesus is about. It's supposed to be about that kind of shit. That's what America's about. American conservatism is antithetical to the teachings of Christianity, which is a very common meme, obviously.
The gospel of supply side Jesus.
Bring me this king of the Jews that I might meet him. This supply side Jesus. So you are the supply side Jesus. What a magnificent robe you have.
Because of this robe, 10 craftsmen were able to feed their families.
And what a beautiful haircut you have, supply side Jesus.
The barber who gave me this haircut was able to hire a manicurist. She had been a prostitute, but because I needed a pedicure, she is now able to fulfill her true potential. Supply-side Jesus leads his disciples past a leper colony on his way to the Sermon on the Mount.
Should you feed the lepers, supply side Jesus?
No, Thomas. That would just make them lazy.
This is the best line. No, him telling Thomas, no, Thomas, that would just make them lazy if I healed them. That's it. That's republicanism, okay?
Shouldn't you at least heal them, supply-side Jesus? No, James. Leprosy is a matter of personal responsibility. If people knew I was healing the lepers, there would be no incentive to avoid leprosy. It is easier for a rich man to enter heaven seated comfortably on the back of a camel than it is for a poor man to pass through the eye of a needle. If you are prosperous on earth, that means that God is rewarding your rugged individualism. If you are poor, it is a sign that God frowns on your reliance on handouts. The only way to gain entrance into God's kingdom of abundance is to show your faith by giving to him through his only son, me, supply side Jesus, and he who gives more than 1,000 shekels.
I mean, this is literally the basis of prosperity gospel. This sounds like Calvinism. I mean, yeah, this is American Christianity. Got him.
But if somebody sits down and says, yeah, come wash my feet, I deserve this treatment, come cater to my every whim. Then
no, dumbass. The entire point is that someone in a position of power is being understanding to those who do not have power in that immediate dynamic. Like Jesus Christ having a position of power. Okay, one of the most powerful people, right? Son of God. Turn the other cheek? Yeah, fuck that. I'm actually directly facing this dude and murking him. Thou shalt not kill. I love killing. Fuck you.
Then the very last thing you should do for that person is actually wash their feet, whether literally or metaphorically. Now, what you see in this ad is not Christian love. This is self-debasement. It's a humiliation ritual meant to satisfy the egos of people who need their egos punctured, not inflated even more. Christianity in the West has been sucking up to people who hate it, has been sanitizing itself, has been watering down its message, preaching against hate, but never saying a word about repentance for decades. And over those decades, we've also seen a record number of people leave the church. We've seen church attendance dwindle to record lows, while atheist and unaffiliated self-identifications rocket to record highs.
Does Matt think that the people left the church because there isn't enough hate? I think the people within Christianity, within Catholicism specifically, for example, that recognize that their power is dwindling and their influence is waning on the planet due to the fundamentalist principles that they still try to carry on as progress has moved past them, and therefore make an effort to reform, are actually a little bit smarter as far as like genuinely trying to engage in self-preservation. I don't know if Matt is a Christian or not, but as an American Christian, we are almost all impacted by exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, however, religion, with some notable exceptions, I guess, very cool for Matt to be like, I hate that the Hobby Lobby backed like ad that promoted tolerance for Christianity is actually really fucked up because it should have been promoting hatred instead. Okay? Every single one of these ads were dumb as hell. Let me tell you, they had no creativity. Who gives a shit? We spent most of the money. You're going to have to sit there and watch it anyway. My favorite new conspiracy. Dear citizens of the world, from Concerned Citizen, if you happen to witness green lasers scanning the area in which you live, you might just want to take a trip out of town for a few weeks. No reason, no reason. Or paint your roof blue. Oh, because they think it's like it's Oprah's Hawaiian space lasers. It's Oprah, Jeff Bezos, and the Jewish space lasers, Chinese Jewish space lasers that wiped out Hawaii. Dude, I love that we are so mentally ill here in this fucking community. We're so invested in the psychopathic conspiracy bits that conservatives just, you know, in the world that they live in, that I immediately understood. As soon as you said paint your roof blue, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you sent me this link and I'm like, oh, totally makes sense. Judaism space lasers that Oprah and Jeff Bezos directed to Hawaii with Barack Obama that blew up all the cars except for the blue cars, and then the blue cars didn't explode because the space lasers only work on every other color and not the blue one. Was this? How much did your Super Bowl ticket cost?
What did you spend on your Super Bowl tickets? 13 grand.
10,000 bucks. 9,000 a ticket. It's a lifelong dream of mine to be here. I'm a little emotional. My dad did it for my birthday.
That's so funny. Like, bro, minus 13 grand and they left crying.
I actually got my ticket for free. Cost 8,000.
Was it worth it? Are you excited to be here?
Oh my God, yes. I didn't.
It's so sad that people pay so much money. There's hella people that go for free because like brands are sending them there, you know? I went when it was in LA. You went on our dollar? No, I went not on your dollar. If I spent my own money, then yes, it would technically be your dollar. The one in LA is the one I saw in person. All right, let's get to Trump's NATO remarks before we move on to some fun shit.
Robin, good morning to you. NATO is America's most important military alliance, and Donald Trump is threatening to upend it if he's elected, something the White House is calling appalling and unhinged. Saying if elected again, he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who don't contribute enough toward defense spending.
If we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
President Biden calling.
It's so funny that he's saying that because like he's literally like, no, it's a protection racket. Like he's saying it's a protection racket and we should farm it harder. You know what I mean? We should farm it more, which is technically not inconsistent with the American position. It's just that I guess he doesn't fully, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't fully understand it. Like, yeah, it's a protection racket, but like also at the same time, it's one that like it's one that is basically paying to the American military contractors. Even if those guys aren't paying their fair share into NATO or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like all the money that goes to Ukraine is still going back into the pockets of the American defense contractors. Because it's not technically going into Ukraine in like money bags, right? It's not duffel bags full of money that they're fucking parachuting into Ukraine. That's not how this works.
The NATO Secretary General warning any suggestion that allies will not defend each other undermines all of our security, including that of the U.S.
This is not someone you ever want to pal around with. And you certainly don't want to give them the right.
The former president questioning why Haley's husband, a major in the Army National Guard currently deployed in Africa, isn't on the campaign trail.
Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband?
If you mock the service of a combat veteran, you don't deserve a driver's license, let alone being president of the United States.
Yeah, she's gonna get a wonderful 10% of the vote in South Carolina with scathing remarks like this. Don't you dare disrespect an Army wife. You come at the Army like that, I'll take your driver's license away. He's like, all right, no, then no one cares. No one cares. Wait, no way. Trump is insinuating about how Nikki Jarhead Jody style cheated on her husband as reported by the Daily Mail. Nikki Haley did cheat on husband Michael, had affairs with her comms consultant and a Mary, South Carolina lobbies before she became governor. Sworn affidavit and new witnesses claim. Oh my God. She did not Jody her fucking husband, dude. That's crazy. I mean, that's an American pastime. Oh, come on. How many times did Trump cheated on his wives? Yeah, of course. That's not news though. That's fucking dog bites man. Okay. This, on the other hand, this is man bites dog. Can we acknowledge that Daily Mail is made up and try to find this from a real source? I mean, either way, this being real, this being false, none of this matters in the grand scheme of things as it pertains to Nikki Haley's chances of winning the election. You are correct. Daily Mail is a dish rag full of misinformation. Okay, what is this infinite craft shit, dude? What is this? Drag elements to craft? How does this work? What is this? What am I doing? That's it? That's how you do it? Wait, what the fuck? Volcano and tsunami makes volcano? Earthquake. What if double earthquake? Wow, I made a mountain. I don't understand how this works. Bro, play a little alchemy. Make 9/11. Throw some water on that shit is lava. Throw more water on it is stone. Let's see. Let's see if we can arrive at stone faster. What? Doodle God light? Dude, I have no idea how to do this. This is like, people like this? People enjoy this? What the fuck? More stone. Rock. Rock and rock. Stone. You already have stone in the sidebar? Okay, but I don't know what to make of this. You know what I mean? How do I fucking make this stone work? Oh, shit. I got a blade. Okay, we're working. We're cooking. What if I put King Arthur on fire? No, that's back to Excalibur. What about water on Excalibur makes swordfish? What? I got Osama bin Laden? How the fuck? I feel like this is good for a different type of brain. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a good game for someone else's brain. I don't like that it like turns tsunami and a sword makes a shark. Let's put these all out here. Let's put these out on a fucking plate here, okay? Let's put these out on the plate. I got Hasanabi by combining eye patch and 9/11. You did not. I still don't fully understand how. Okay, great sword and great sword. Great sword and lava. Magma. Magma and obsidian. Volcano. That didn't work. Oh shit, I got a meteor. Nice. Meteor and volcano. Meteorite. Meteorite and meteor. Asteroid. King Arthur and asteroid. Excalibur. Ah, fuck you. Fuck. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. What do these things do? Like, how do they connect to one another if you put it like this? Oh shit. I invented Atlantis. King Arthur and steam engine. Steampunk. Put some fire in that pussy. Okay. Dragon. Oh, dude. King Arthur and dragon. Excalibur. Fuck. This game makes no sense without a word you're looking for. Find yourself. You're 100% in it. M. Hunt found Chapo. Nandre, great example of Nandre doing it. Wait, how do you make porn?
Oh my God, what if Pedophile on Island gives us Jeffrey Epstein? Almost the same thing.
That's fucking crazy. Megalodon! Dude, I found some cool ass shit so far. What if a meteor? Sharknado! Wind, water, wave, stone, rock. Fuck! That didn't work. Plant and plant. Ah! That's over. It's over. I found a tree. Tree, great sword. Woodcutter. Woodcutter and forest. Lumberjack. Forest. Wood. Oh, dude, we're cooking. We're cooking. We're cooking. I feel like this shit doesn't make sense. That makes too much sense, and it wouldn't make sense. Oh! Statue of Liberty? What the hell? Statue of King Arthur? Excalibur? That makes no goddamn sense. God, that makes me mad. That makes me mad. Oh, shit, the moon. What about moon and golem makes werewolf? That makes no sense. Excalibur werewolf. We're king. Okay, now that we have island, that's like more fun. Statue and island, Statue of Liberty, easy. Oh, we're getting to New York. We're getting to New York close. Statue of Liberty and window makes lady. What? And earth. New York. Oh, chat, it's happening. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, shit. What about disaster? Oh, dude. I think I got it. I think I got 9/11 speedrun. No! I was so close, dude. New York and fire. What does that do? Oh! 9/11 speed run. Wow. Take that, Muhammad Atta. Oh. You put 9/11 in Osama, you get Obama. What? Dude, oh, shit's popping off now. Trump destruction? Nope. 9/11 in Hawaii. Pearl Harbor. Yo! Pearl Harbor and volcano. Pearl Harbor and disaster. World War II. Oh, I'm getting to Hitler. Trump and World War II. Easy. Yep. Called it, dude. Wait, why is there a king? Wait, what the fuck? Why? What the fuck? No. I don't. Okay, what if Hitler was a werewolf? We're Hitler. Okay, wait, hold on. I want to see what this does. Hitler and Obama is Trump. Trump and Hitler is just Trump. World War II and Trump, Hitler. Hitler and World War II. Holocaust. Bro, this game is insane. Okay, Holocaust and Obama, abortion. Obamacare. What the fuck? Yeah! This AI is neither woke nor conservative, but a secret third thing? Yeah. What about World War II and 9/11? World War Lee? World War Live. Pearl Harbor and 9/11. US 9/11 plus Pearl Harbor. What is happening? Hawaii and Hitler. Aloha. What the fuck? Hitler, US 9/11 Pearl Harbor. It's not working. Aloha Hitler. Hello Hitler. Okay, I think I've broken the thing, I think. We did it. We got Japan. What about Japan and divorce? Karate? All right, now that we have Japan, it's got to be anime, right? Easy. Tokyo and karate. Japan and kamikaze. Samurai. Oh. Japan. Wait, hold on. What about Hitler in Japan? Hirohito. Emperor of Japan. Samurai in Tokyo make Japan. What about lady in Japan? Geisha and a samurai. Ninja. Let's see if I can get a pirate. Manga and ocean. Sailor Moon. What the fuck? No! Manga in Tokyo. Anime! Oh my god. Naruto anime. We're fucking close. We're so close. What does lady in anime do? Sailor. Oh my god, we're close to pirate. What if a samurai and a sailor merged? What would that make? Oh my god. Oh, dude. It's over. I did it. Another world first. That's crazy. The boys got it. I'm fucking cracked at this. What is happening? See if I can get Zoro. Zoro, baby. How do we make gum? One Piece ninja. Luffy's not even a ninja, but I got it. Get Twitch and put 9/11 and Twitch together. Let's do let's go back to 9/11 and Obama and stuff and try to get like CIA or something. 2 9/11s. 9/22. 9/11 and Goku. 9 Goku 11. Is this a world first? Like when you find dumb shit like this? I don't know how to get to Twitch, man. I need a computer and I don't know how to make a computer or the internet. Genie? Aladdin? Oh! Osama bin Laden and Dragon Ball Z make dead. I just mixed Jordan Peterson with Super Hitler. This game rules. First discovery, Jordan Super Hitler. Like, how has someone discovered Batman D. Luffy before? This is a pretty good game. I mean, it's pretty fun and it's very interactive. We'll fuck around with this tomorrow potentially. Obviously, we'll have more news and stuff to cover tomorrow as well. Love you all. Bye-bye.